Good evening.
I love you, Daddy. I love you.
Thanks, Mum. So before I start, I just want to say I know I've got a shit accent and I talk too fast. So if there's anything you don't understand, just laugh. I grew up in a broken home. Don't worry, my parents are still together, they're just really shit at DIY. I had an imaginary friend as a child called Bill. Bill was real, I just imagined he was my friend. My parents gave me some advice when I was a child. They said you should face your fears. Which would have been a bit more meaningful if I hadn't just told them I was scared of getting hit by a train. I was in the Scouts, like a lot of the boys here would have been. Unfortunately, my Scoutmaster was a paedophile. And sadly, he didn't molest me. I mean, how's that supposed to make me feel? I was impressionable. I was fat. I couldn't run away. But nothing. It got to the point where I was trying to seduce him. Staring in his eyes, getting him to tie my neckerchief. Bending over in front of him, doing my Velcro shoes. At the Scout disco, singing Spice Girls to him. When two become one, I need some love like I never needed love before. Wanna make love to you, Kayla. But nothing. I think my childhood was so bad that ISIS claimed responsibility for it. But that rejection helped me in adult life. When I first moved here in 2006, British people weren't so common. So most of the Czech, like how they got used to the British people, was from movies. So I just lent into that. I would talk to them and say, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. It's so beguiling. I would love to woo you and take you back to my castle in England and maybe make you a princess." And then the stag parties started turning up, but realized that was a lie. So then the only people I could attract were Russians and Ukrainians. And they were just interested in my passport and access to the European Union. And then fucking Brexit happened. Now, when I go into a restaurant and show them my COVID passport, the waitress swipes left on it. So, I decided to make some changes and try and make myself more attractive. And I know what you're thinking. It's not about looks, the personality that counts. So I fucked. So, I got into bodybuilding. Unfortunately, I didn't read the definition of bodybuilding, and I just ate solidly for 2 months and put on 15 kilograms. But those are some serious gains. But I decided to get into running, so I do what everybody does. I downloaded the Run Track application. You know, that tracks your speed and the route that you take, and you post it on Facebook for the occasional heart emoji and like. And I would set out, and in my head I heard the Rocky theme tune. Doom, 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 doom. Unfortunately, that was my belly hitting my thighs. And it turns out it stops after 20 minutes if you lie down. So it was a bit optimistic. I managed to do one testicle. So I went back home and, just to make it more accurate, I amputated the bollock. But you'll be pleased to hear, by the end of all of this, I did manage to get abs. Sorry, kebabs. I recently turned 39, and everyone's telling me, don't worry, life begins at 40. Not in my fucking city, it doesn't. People start dying at 40. I'm from the north of England. We grew up on a diet of Alka-Pops and fried food. The oldest person from my city died at 58, and that's because she left as a baby. But just because I'm getting old doesn't mean things are changing. You know, I'm still regular. Every morning at 6 a.m. I have a poo. I just need to remember to set my alarm for earlier than 7 a.m. And I wake up in the morning, stiff. Unfortunately now it's my ankle, my knees and my back. When I get out of bed, it sounds like I'm stepping on snack wrappers. Which often it is. And my friends tell me, you shouldn't eat biscuits in bed. Well, how else will she know she's a good dog? I've been Daniel Grice. Thank you very much.
All right, give it up for Daniel Grice.